Well, good afternoon. Grandma Bev here from Life with Grandma Bev, and welcome to my ride along with me to the Neurologist. Finally. Couldn't get in till almost the end of summer. I understand why it's hard to get into appointments because there's not enough doctors, and a lot of us patients, but still. So this sounds terrible, but fingers crossed that he finds out or figures out what's wrong with my legs and that it's something they can treat. I'm just so tired of having these legs hurt me the way they do. But anyway, I should update you. Miss Callie went to the doctor last Friday because we'd been concerned, and she got an A-OK checkup. Nothing wrong with her. The minute I made her appointment, she started acting spastic again, like a Miss ADHD. So we took her anyway because, for my peace of mind, I just wanted to make sure, because I've been worried about the way she's always so hungry and just moaning and begging for food, So the doctor said that's how calicos are. She says, welcome to the world of calicos. That they are very smart, they're very drama. In fact, she called her Miss Queen, before she even heard anything about her. So, they checked her for tapeworms and all that kind of stuff, and she's got a totally negative. She has gained 5 pounds since she's been with us. I'm going to turn you around for a minute so you can, while we go through Front Street, and I'll keep talking. So anyway, when we got her, she was 4 pounds something. And now she was like 10.4. So we are not starving her. To all of you who are wondering what we're doing with that girl. Let's see if I can get it going right down the middle of the street. Of course, she was a nut while we were in there. We had them cut her nails while we were there because it is such a challenge to cut her nails. So the gal came in to show us exactly how to hold her and everything. Well, needless to say, Bob got a pretty good scratch on his arm while she had him holding her. So the whole way down in the car, she was meowing. But then on the way home, not a sound. That was exactly what our cat Bailey used to do. He'd meow the whole way down the street. And then down to the vets, which isn't very far from us, maybe a mile, maybe a little more. And then he'd always make no sound on the way home. See all the pretty plants? So they hang these hanging baskets during the summers, and they just grow huge. Well, they don't look like they're as big as they've been in other years, probably because of this strange weather. So anyway, they said that we are feeding her right, and not to worry about it. So what can I say? We're a couple of worrying mamas and daddies. Excuse me. Since the smoke's been in the air, I've been having a little bit of a tickly cough. Anyway, that's about all I can report about her. Okay, now we're out of the downtown. I'll click you back onto me. Anyway, the weather has changed. We've been experiencing fall about a month and a half early. We had some thunder. I don't know if any of you watched my little short video I posted of Callie hearing her first bunch of thunder. And she didn't scare her. Like I say, she has no fear. Let's go around this person on the bike. Otherwise, we had some sprinkles of rain yesterday. and the day before. So it's kind of gray days. We have a lot of gray days. Not so much during the summer, though, so this is unusual for the summer, but you don't get pouring rain. We just had some pouring rain when the thunder did its little clapping. So enough for the weather. Of course, we got to go into Silverdale to go to the doctor. And after that, we're going to go to... Is our car out there? Oh, it is. It's right up there. Oh, wow. That's where we sold our car to. Terrific good deal for whoever buys it. We only had like, what, about 6,000 or 7,000 or 9,000 miles on it. And it was almost 3 years old. Because, yeah, it just sits in the garage all winter. So that's why we got rid of it. Couldn't see making payments all winter, for 7 months. When we get home, we would be turning it in because it was a lease car. So, we're adjusting to having one car between us again. Which, to me, it's not that much of an adjustment. I don't go out that much. I'm only going out today because of the doctor appointment. Otherwise, I wouldn't be leaving the house. And let's see. Saturday night, we will not be having a happy hour, per se. We will be, but Smokey won't attend or anything because we're having company over. So we're going to be outside for like an hors d'oeuvre dinner. And then we'll go inside and play games. Or maybe Smokey will come after we go inside, but I don't know. Haven't seen a whole lot of him. He'll come down maybe once during the day. It's lonely without those pets. I mean, Bob is really feeling it because every morning when he'd get up real early, AJ and Zandu would be sitting out back waiting for him, casually sitting around on the furniture or wherever waiting for him to put some food out. So he really misses them a lot. And I find myself still always looking out the window to see if they're out there. Miss those guys, but it looks like they're happy, from the picture that I shared with you last week. I'm just glad they moved and that, they didn't get rid of them. You know what I mean. Otherwise, you've seen about the hurricanes, Idalia. But God, I thank God every time I hear storms going through Florida that my daughter moved away from there. Boy, I don't understand why the people have to start over. Why don't they just move the hell out of there? Where there's a will, there's a way. When it's not like this happens freakishly. This happens every single year, several times. Having the floods like that and the trees knocked down. I don't know. I know one of the guys I watch I subscribe to on YouTube, who has, cruise channel. They're on a cruise ship. And they were supposed to go to the Bermuda, and it got switched to Bahamas because of the Hurricane Franklin or whoever it was. And their home is a little bit north of Tampa. And they got on the ship in Tampa. Well, needless to say, today, the ship couldn't go into port because port still wasn't ready. And their car is parked there in a garage, like so they were worried about their car, but they valet parked it. So, the keys were there, and the cruise ship announced that those who would use the valet parking, the people moved their cars up to a higher level. So that was good news for them. His name's Tony. A real personable guy, cracks us up. His channel's La Lido Loca. If you want to watch him, he got a fun sense of humor. Same age as my sons. Speaking of sons, what's up here? Somebody's got a fire truck and police cars. Okay, better slow down. Gotta go over into this other lane. Must have been a car accident. Okay, back on. What was I talking about? I was talking about something. I don't remember. Talking about Tony on the Lido Loca. Oh, this Sunday is my first baby I had. His 54th birthday. Can you believe that? He's old enough to go in and to almost old enough to go into over 55 communities if he wants to live in one. Because his wife is already, I think, really close to 55. Oh, she just had her birthday last week. So. And it's also my grandson's birthday, same day as his dad's. And he'll be 19. Now, he's safely tucked in at Auburn University now. But you know what that means? If Phil is my son's name. If Phil is 54, I had him when I was almost 20. That means Mama here, Grandma's going to be 74. Oh my God, you know, it just... Where has the time gone? And I was hoping that I would have him actually on Labor Day, which it was my Labor Day, but it wasn't on Labor Day. It was the official Labor Day that year. And then next week, I think it's I don't think, I know it's the 8th, but I think that's Friday. That's Bob's and my 33rd wedding anniversary. 33 years together, and we still are crazy about each other. You know, we were talking the other night during our happy hour. And I think one reason why our marriage is so non-conflicted and stuff like that is because we both know exactly how far to push an issue before it can get out of hand. you know, like there's times when maybe I could bitch at him about something, and I think, why? What's going to accomplish? Nothing, you know. So we just know how to. What's it called? Conflict resolution? Because we don't have conflict that much. We like so much of the same things. You know, quite the opposite of my first marriage. Number one, I wouldn't have been having a happy hour outside with my first one. I love my Bobby. So let's see, we were together a year and a half before we got married. So that's what's coming up, like this weekend and stuff. Now Phil and his wife Lauren and my granddaughter were actually in Miami this past week. I imagine they got home yesterday, but they were in Miami for Lauren's birthday, and they're hoping that the worst of the storm would be over and they'd be able to fly out of there Wednesday like they were supposed to. So I'm assuming they did, but they had nice weather while they were there, you know, most of the days from what I hear. And then once I got home from there, because they live in Brooklyn, but their house is out in Bucks County, so they'll be heading out there for the Labor Day weekend. Kind of start getting things closed up too. We used to go there on Labor Day weekends because it was always the boys' birthdays. But then it got switched to Memorial time. I forget what reason for, something going on, and so now it's just kind of stayed at that. And let's see, Bob's daughter Heather and his grandson Cameron have booked their tickets to come see us Thanksgiving. See, we get in a house and people start coming to see us. So we're getting anxious now because we're really counting down the weeks, because we're leaving the 24th of September to head down there. Of course, we'll be stopping to see Michelle. Now, of course, this is what's significant about this trip. It's our last trip in the motorhome. So I'll be doing a video, and most of the places we're staying, a couple of them on the way down, are new to us. We haven't stayed there before. Well, I haven't done videos of them, let's put it that way. So I'll be doing videos on those. Bob already brought the rig down early this week and washed it and cleaned the headlights. They need to be cleaned, getting ready to sell it once we get down there. And we bought a little TV because the TV we had that came in it, that was on the outside of the rig, somehow water got to it. And it would only work half the screen, so we're replacing that TV. So now it's just a matter of loading it up. I've already been getting stuff together that I know I need to remember to bring down, because if I don't go get them as soon as I think of it, I'll forget it. And most of the stuff we're planning on leaving there. So, tomorrow he's got to get real early and go up to the town of Squim, about an hour and a half from here. It's the only place we found that does really good work on the motorhome, because there's a couple of things that we tweaked. Every year there's something. So it's just like owning a house. The big difference is it doesn't go up in value. It goes down. So we discovered a water leak on the way home last year. We're going to fix that. I think that's about it. So he's going to be having to leave the rig up there through the weekend. That's what's going on. Lots of stuff. Oh, and you'll be surprised to hear I finished a book. I started it last December when we flew to Hawaii. And I finally finished it, so I'll be doing a video on that. It was a pretty good book. Once I got into it, then it was easy to keep reading it. I found the secret is to put it in the bathroom. Instead of bringing my phone or my iPad in there with me, because I've been having issues with my tummy. I just sit in there and read. TMI. Okay, well, we're in Silverdale. We're getting close. This time I kept you on the whole time. Can you believe that? Now this weekend is... Oh, there's the light already turned red. It's going to be really, crowded, like on the ferries. We don't even leave the house because there's just so much traffic with people coming over for their last weekend that they can do camping and stuff, because over here is where all the good campsites are. So the ferries, you're going to have to wait several hours in line to get on them. And of course the airport is massively crowded. We used to always go on Labor Day weekend. Would be one of our last camping trips with the motorhome before we retired. We would go every weekend during the summer when we would get home. So I had all these state parks booked 9 months ahead of time, because that's when you could do it. And if you didn't do it right away, you wouldn't be able to get a spot. So it always more or less dribbled on Labor Day weekend. But, we were used to it. It's kind of cool being out there, sitting underneath the awning and lightly raining and stuff. So, true to fashion, or true to custom, or it's supposed to maybe sprinkle a little on the weekend. Not tomorrow, not Saturday night, luckily. Not tomorrow isn't Saturday. Tomorrow, maybe when you're seeing this, it is. It's supposed to sprinkle a little on Sunday. And so, to me, that's just our typical Labor Day weekend. It's like, it's that way when Memorial Weekend comes. We got the same issues. And then the rest of the summer, it would be fine. Or no, July 4th, I'm sorry. July 4th, and then, starting July 5th is when summer starts, and it would go usually through September. Well, we'll just start in September, and we're already getting some rain early because of all these crazy, what do you call those things that are happening up in the sky? But I'd rather live here than east of here. You may hear about flooding and stuff or the wildfires, but they're not anywhere near where we live. It's all up north where it's mostly forested and stuff that the fires got started, any of the fires. And then when there's flooding, it's usually around some of the lakes or rivers. That's why I always, when we buy a house, make sure it's kind of up high. We're coming up by the hospital. Boy, I am hitting every light. Let's turn you around so you can see the hospital. I think I've shown you many times. To my left is one of the clinics for the doctors groups there I go to. Of course, the hospital's all up here on the side of the hill. None of this was here when Bob and I moved to Silverdale 33 years ago when we got married. And off to my right is like Costco and Lowe's and Ashley Furniture. So they've been adding all different buildings that a lot of the doctors have their offices in. That truck pulling out, the car pulling in, that's where you would turn to go to PetSmart. Okay, let's get up here so we can get this light before it changes. Now, if you turn left here, we used to live up that way. Almost 20 years ago now. Can't believe that. Wow. It means I've been retired for just about 20 years. No desire to ever go back to work. Instead, I do this stuff, right? Where I get no money, but it's something to do. Okay, here's where I turn into, where I go to the doctor. Real tight squeeze. Let's see. Let me go this part down further back. Slowly. So we're here. I wanted to be here 15 minutes early. So I got a few minutes I can sit out here. So, fingers crossed. I'll come right back on when I get back in the car, and then we'll go over to Dollar Tree, as Lucy used to pronounce it. Imagine a cat talking Dollar Tree. So I'll be right back. I'm back. I just have one word to say. I get so tired of these doctors. Okay, well, I just had an electrocuting test where they sent all these electrical impulses through my arms, which was kind of uncomfortable, but tolerable. But he wouldn't do anything with my legs because my dumbass doctor, I've never been happy with the doctor I go to, and he was the only one I could find that would take Medicare patient back when I, needed a doctor. Anyway, he told me it was because of my arm keeps going to sleep on me. But there's nothing wrong with it. He tested both arms. Nothing wrong. I just get so tired of this. and it wasn't for my legs. He said that I'd have to make a separate appointment for that. And that one takes about an hour because it's a lot to go through. Yeah, I understand it's a lot to go through. But he says, well, if I fail, though, it sounds like I already know why my leg, has issues. From when I had my herniated disc, and it just, was laying on one of my nerves. I almost said the bad word. But when I was sitting out there waiting to be called in, I could hear her saying, well, our next appointments we're scheduling in December. Oh, man. Okay, well, I'm done. I'm done with doctors. I mean, I could be dying and they'd say, you're fine. We can't find anything. I get so tired of it. I just have to accept the fact that I'm nuts. So, okay, slip into my happy-go-lucky. We're on the way to Dollar Tree. I gotta see if I can keep myself from buying a bunch of sweets. It's another frustration. Eat a thing of sweets. Okay, here's 2 pounds. I guess I just need to accept that this is the size I'm going to be. Because when I was young, well, all the way up into my, close to 40, I was skinny as a rail. And I got teased so much, And once I met Bob, it's like I started putting weight on. Once I started eating his cooking and not my own, and now that's also coincidentally, around my 40s when I was already going through menopause. That was one thing they believed me on. Yeah, I was going through menopause. And in my mid-30s. I don't know how many of you have had acupuncture, but I've tried that too several years back. And you know how they stick the little needles in, and sometimes you feel it. Well, parking lot's not very far. Well, what this test involved was putting little needles in me, kind of like that. It kind of felt and reminded me of acupuncture. And then he turns on this little machine. It's like, a little zap. It's tolerable. But I have a high tolerance for pain. I guess from all the years of being in pain. This guy here in front of me is parked all crooked, and there's a big pickup truck blocking half of the lane. Okay, we are here. I think I should go into Michael's too. It's almost 5. I don't want Bob to worry. He knows that I'm stopping at Dollar Tree. But here I am sitting here talking, and the guy parked there thinks, what the heck? Anyway, I'll be back. I'm back. It's always crowded in this particular one. The lines, the pay. But I did come back with a bag full of stuff, so mission accomplished. And I'll do a separate video on Dollar Tree to show you what I ended up getting. A lot of it ended up being edible things. So let's go home. Let's see if I can cut out through here. Looks like they are. Green clouds are maybe moving in. Oh, light change just as I got up here to green. Whew. Most of the time I was in there was a kid screaming. There was even a gal with a stroller with a little kid in it, maybe was 9 months old or so. And she's there, get out of here. I thought my exact thoughts. Hers was behaving. Little marshmallows. Okay, it's now 5:30, and we're gonna go home. Because Bob's probably worried. He worries. Always worries I'm gonna fall. You know, gee, why does he worry about that? Because I do a lot. Oh, there's just lying back for her. Well, I think I'm going to cut this off because I did do quite a bit of talking on the way in. So, you know what to do. Comment, share, like, subscribe. I hope you will have a terrific, Labor Day weekend. I love you guys. Bye.